What up, freaks? Crafty here, front row at thefreakshow.com, and I noticed a story on WRCBTV.com out of Chattanooga, and it was titled, House Bill Would Cap Expenses for Ex-Presidents, and went on to say, on a voice vote, the House Oversight Panel backed a measure Tuesday to limit taxpayer dollars for expenses, including travel, incurred by ex-presidents who earn more than $400,000 a year. Okay, so just a little story here. Just a little story that for some reason absolutely pisses me off to no end. It pisses me off because it's just such a perfect example, the epitome of what the fuck is wrong with us. This country, this system. Okay, great. Yeah. There's now a bill to reform what ex-presidents can make directly from the taxpayers as a part of their pensions upon leaving office. But the current numbers are simply staggering. And it's not even so much that it's the way the laws were written, which just shows the contempt they have for us in the first place. It's that all these shitbags, yes, that's right, shitbags, took it. They took it. Took apparently every penny they could. Despite, for the most part, all of them fall into the top 1% or the top 1% of 1% with regard to yearly earnings before, during, and after they entered office. I would argue it's really almost the same damn thing as having a royal family, but it's not, because currently there's 4 of them. How can any one of these greedy scumbags honestly say that by costing taxpayers $3.5 million combined just last year, that they're doing right by this country or what's best for this country? And if they're okay with sticking it to us now, well, take a guess at how they felt about it while they were in office. The Clinton royals earned $30 million last year. Think about that. $30 million. And we had to pony up $1 million to Bill for his friggin' expenses? How goddamn insulting is that? It makes me friggin' sick. It's all a game to these guys. And until we start waking the hell up, holding these people accountable, realizing the absolute historic corruption that is simply siphoning money from hard-working, honest folks and putting it right into the pockets of these psychotic, psychopathic, sick, greedy fucks, they're going to keep doing it and doing it and doing it until every last friggin' penny is theirs. Mark my words. And this, as it is the case with most of these things, is just the tip of the iceberg. For example, none of this expense money even counts for the fact that these self-righteous sons of bitches have 24/7 Secret Service on our dime. How much does that cost? Again, apparently a law was put into place so that Slick Willie is the last president to get Secret Service for life. Yeah, starting with GW, they only get it for 10 years. But first off, why the hell do they get it at all? Who the hell cares if they get offed? What is anyone going to achieve outside of 15 minutes of fame and maybe a little self-satisfaction from shooting one of these loathsome pricks? And secondly, hey, Billy Jeff, what do you say? You really think you need to hold on to that grandfathered clause and keep costing us beaucoup dollars to protect you? Frickin' man up, man. The only one who wants you shot is the woman that you sleep next to every night. No, not her, the other. No, not her. No, and not Bill, your friggin' wife. So you're telling me if that wretched whore becomes president, there would literally be 2 separate Secret Service teams, one for each of them? Rule's a rule, right, Bill? I actually wonder why the sitting president gets so much, or any Secret Service at all, for that matter. I mean, JFK had a shitload of Secret Service. How'd that work out? Yeah, I get the symbolism of, say, offing the POTUS. But aren't we supposed to have a system where any one person doesn't wield that much power anyway? Just who the hell do they think they are? And that's the rub, freaks. That's the rub. See, it's the entire culture we have allowed. Yes, we have allowed to grow and blossom, not just in Washington, but in the cities and states all across this once pretty decent country. Most average Americans are lightning fast to hop down the throats of the lower class when it comes to welfare and food stamps, right? They don't want to work. They just want handouts. They feel they're entitled to our money. Well, gee, shit. I wonder where they get this sense of entitlement from. You want entitlement? Ladies and gentlemen, may I introduce to you our politicians. Add it all up, folks. Add it all up. Absolute sweeping healthcare reform that we could debate about until the cows come home. But what's not debatable is all the rules that apply to every single one of us doesn't apply to them. They get their own special health care. And that doesn't even scratch the surface. Insider trading, whistleblower protection, freedom of information requests, all examples where the rules are different for our leaders than they are for us. And this is shit that would land us either in the poorhouse or the jailhouse. Big time. But still, it's more than that. It's the black tie, highbrow parties getting $1,000 a head. It's the limos. It's the getting $1,000 head in the limos after the highbrow party, which I could personally care less about. But did your PAC have to pick up the tab? It came out not too long ago that for the first time ever, the average congressman is worth over $1 million. Let me ask you, what direction do you think that is headed? Let me also ask you, who do you think these slime bags represent? You? Or the other millionaires and billionaires that are getting these fucks in office in the first place? Great. The House Oversight Panel backed a measure to try and reform a policy that never should have existed in the first place. A policy that exemplifies the self-absorbed, above those they are elected to represent, entitled, greedy pricks, and the shit just oozes down from the top, infecting all the rest in the politician pyramid. Just one little story. Just one little link on Drudge Report among 30 others, and replaced almost as soon as it went up, with probably very few actually bothering to take a look and read it. It was replaced by another little story about a hot dog vendor in New York City who screwed up and charged a few regular New Yorkers the $20 and $30 he charges tourists for a hot dog when he thinks he can get away with it. Gee, I wonder where he learned that from. Conspiracy?
Yeah, I mean, the fact is you've got these psychopaths, whether they're running the top businesses or whether they're running the country or both, that, they want more and more and more. That's all they can think about, and they'll step on anybody and send your kids off to die to get it. And that's the world we live in.
My mother was actually a black Irish Italian Muslim, lesbian hooker with a lisp.
Maybe.
What is so interesting about us in the first place?
This fucking soulless horse.
My question is to the atomizer.
I'm glad you asked, Atomizer.
Then you really need to re-examine your objectivity on the subject, because you don't have any.
Screwed?
My ass is open. Wait, let me rephrase that.
Read that book, cover to cover. Read that fucking book.
I'm not sitting here suggesting we burn them all and completely rid the planet of them.
Absolutely. And if the God described in the Bible is real and is what is described in that Bible, he's not your fucking friend. He's a monster, and we should all get together and hunt him down and kill him.
Definitely.
To me, at the very least, it's the root of all tyranny.
Get your freak on. Front Row at the Freak Show on blogtalkradio.com/front row.